For the days of temptation and wilderness, facing opposition, Christ underwent 40 days of temptation in the wilderness, overcoming ego, beliefs of lack, turning stone to bread, attachment, ruling kingdoms, and control, jumping from the temple. He was crucified around as age 33 for chosen religion's authority, but resurrected with Mary as a key witness. Okay, so he just say, remember, people, just go by yourself. Just look at your own life. If you, okay, don't eat for 3 days or don't eat for 24 hours and see how you start going, and then concentrate on God, pray, and see how you will have the different dreams sometime, and then God deal with you more. If you fast 30 days, 20, 10 days, whatever, you become a spiritual vessel, open up for the Lord to work with you. It is nothing, it's just something normal to happen when you put your mind on the right thing, positiveness, and all that kind of stuff. Another signification event is a transfiguration of Yeshua, where was undergoing a radiant transformation on a mountain in the presence of three of his disciples, Peter, James, and John. This event where Yeshua speaks with Moses and Elijah and is again confirmed by a voice from heaven, a future revelation of his divine nature. Throughout his ministry, Yeshua initiated his followers into the kingdom of God through his teaching, parables, and miracles. This included teachings on love, forgiveness, and the coming of Christ, um, uh, the God's kingdom. The initiation of the Eucharist, or Holy Communion, took place during the Last Supper with the disciples, a fundamental event for for Christian worship and community. Resurrection and crucifixion. Christ, Yeshua, is traditionally believed to have resurrected 3 days after crucifixion and death. According to the New Testament in the Christian Bible, Yeshua was crucified and then buried in a tomb. This event is a common memorial by Christians on Good Friday, the resurrection, celebrated on Easter Sunday. Okay, now that didn't happen on Easter Sunday. You see, they just put that in now because there ain't no such thing. Easter didn't have nothing to do. Even if the goddess Esther's or the Ishtar stuff has some do with some about the rebirth of the body and how it do stuff like that. It ain't had nothing to do with no something. See, they put that lie in that like that because ain't no such thing no Easter. Christ had nothing to do with Easter. He was a black Hebrew Israelite and he kept God Passover, where he died in the midst of the week on a Wednesday and rose Saturday evening before the sun went down. So the Sunday morning is gone too. It ain't nothing wrong with Sunday. God made every day. But that was not true about no Easter Sunday, no dying on no Friday evening for no Sunday, because that ain't 72 hours. That ain't 3 days. Just because you said Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that don't mean it is 3 days. It happened in an hour or two in one or two parts of those days, and they call it's 24 hours in a day and a night. It's 12 hours in a day and 12 hours in a night. He was not in the ground no Friday in the evening after 3 to no Sunday morning. That ain't even but 1 day and 2 nights. They say that's 1 day, 2 nights, and not even half. Because if we could count it up, it's 24 hours in a day. Right quick, we'll count it up. From 3 o'clock Friday into Saturday evening, that's 1 day. 3 o'clock Friday evening to 3 o'clock on a Saturday evening is 1 day. Okay, now, that's just 1 day. But from 3 o'clock to that night when that time come when the sun go down that Friday to that Saturday night. That is one night. So he was in there one day and one night, and then he rose early Sunday morning. Now, okay, now if he rode that early before the sun come up, that means that it was 12 hours past. So you got from Friday into Saturday one day, and from Saturday to early Sunday morning, you got one day, one night, and let's see, no, yeah, you got one day, one night, and some 12 hours. So you can't, that's impossible. He died, and then he was a black Hebrew Israelite, and he died in the midst of the week on a Wednesday. 3 days, 72 hours from Wednesday 3 o'clock to Saturday evening at 3 o'clock, made 72 hours. Nobody can fool nobody else. Open your brains, calculate it, write it down, get your piece of paper. You can make a bunch of ones that you want to cross them out. You will find out that he died in the midst of the week. Now, his day was during Passover. He had nothing to do with no Easter Sunday. Now, y'all don't get mad at me because he had nothing to do with that. Niggas stop going to church on Sunday, talking about some Easter Sunday with the big hats, looking like that. It ain't nothing holy about it. Then they give you all that old cakes, cookies, pie. The Israelites had unleavened bread, where you don't supposed to eat no cookies, no cake, no pies, nothing for the 7 days of Passover. But they give you all that stuff, all them old cakes, cookies, pies. Don't get mad at me because I'm teaching the truth. You ought to be trying to understand yourself. Anyway, so they got this Sunday stuff in here, trying to make like this stuff is on a Sunday when it wasn't, and said to have occurred on the third day after his death. You got to have 72 hours. You not going to get 72 hours after Friday. At 3 o'clock to Sunday morning, about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, that's a lie. Black people don't need to stop it. Open your mind. It's time for the truth. Anyway, this timeline is based on the gospel account. No, it's not. It's based on lies. For instance, in the Gospel of Matthew 28, 1-6, it mentions that Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to, it was another people named Mary at the time. His mother was Mary, his auntie was Martha. Then it was another lady named Mary that were with them. I don't know, she was his cousin, but his mama named his wife name was Mary Magdalene. And went to look at the tomb on the first day of the week. No, they didn't. They and found it empty. That because he got up on Sabbath evening and got up out of that tomb. And that's what Mary Magdalene say him. Not on no early Sunday morning. The biggest lie I've been told. Don't come for me, Sunday worshipers, because I'm just trying to show you the truth. Which an angel informing them that Yeshua, his name was a black Hebrew Israelite, his name was not Jesus, had risen from the dead. This event is a cornerstone of Christian faith. Yes, a made-up Christian. These people were black Israelite. We was not Christians. That is not a religion. It was no such thing as a Christian back then. If you follow Christ, you were no Christian. They're just some made up day, y'all. And y'all need to wake up and stop it, symbolizing Christ's victory over death and his role as the Son of God. Say it's very important. If it's important enough for it to continue to be taught that Jesus is white and he rose every Sunday morning, then it's just important to learn that he was a black Hebrew Israelite. Name was Yeshua, Yehoshua, Yeshua, Joshua, Hamashiach, and he was a black Hebrew Israelite, and he rose Saturday evening before the sun went down. It's just important. Then I'm supposed to be a threat. You the threat for putting that lie saying that a white Caucasian rose early Sunday morning and teaching a bunch of black niggers that didn't know no better, that mind been erased. You want to tell me on that you the threat because you taught that lie to guide people and not on the threat. How is that? The truth is not a threat. You the threat to your own darkness because you should never did it. Don't come for me. You and did that already. I wish y'all leave me alone. I'm tired of that mess. All this old wickedness and evil demons, fallen beings and evil spirits trying to come for me. Because I'm not bothering you. I must do my Father's will. Because me and my Father is one. I have to do His will. If I don't do His will, then I end up in the same boat that's sinking like most of you. And I cannot allow that because I am my Father's daughter. Anyway, so after the Sabbath at dawn on the first day of the week, no, after the Sabbath on Saturday, the seventh day of the week, is when Christ rose. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to look at the tomb. There was a violent earthquake, for an angel of the Lord came down from heaven and going to the tomb, rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and that meant his spirit, it should be bright, that's all, and his clothes were white as snow. The guards were so afraid that of him that they shook at and became like dead men. That meant they just was really scared. So you get quiet and you become just scared. Anyway, the angel said to the woman, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Yeshua, who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said," which was on Saturday, the seventh day of the week, before the sun went down. That's before he had to rise then because the next day start when the sun go down. When the sun went down on Saturday, that's when Sunday began. Because night come before day. Read Genesis, the first chapter. Come and see the place where he lay. Matthew 28, 1-6. Mary Magdalene, Sophia Christ.